Today, we show you our VW Grand California. It's comfortable, smart, and extremely stylish with a spacious feel, and also offers the highest level of driving comfort, perfect for your road trip as a family, friends, or couple. Our Grand California offers cozy comfort for up to 3 adults and a little adventurer for 2 adults and 2 kids. Welcome, my name is Dennis from FreewayCamper, and today I will show you our Campervan Volkswagen Grand California, one of the most popular vehicles in our fleet. Let's start with the living area. I'll start by showing you how to turn the passenger seat around to become part of the group seating area. To do this, first pull the seat forward. There is a lever directly under the seat. You have to grab it and pull it up, and then you can push the seat forward and backwards. Move the seat as far forward as possible. Then you need to tilt the backrest to 90 degrees so that we don't get stuck in the B-pillar when turning the seat around. And finally, there is another little handle right under the seat that you have to push. Now you can turn the seat around very easily. Of course, you're now able to slide the seat back to a comfortable position and also tilt the backrest again. Let's move into the living area. We have a step here for easy access. This step extends automatically as soon as you open the sliding door. Please make sure that the step is free of debris and dirt before it retracts again. In your Grand California, you can seat up to 4 people comfortably. To complement that, you can also set up the included table. Of course, the table should always be removed during the journey and safely stowed in the rear of the vehicle. I will show you now how to install it. First, you take the table and put it upright in this rail. Then there's a foot down here that you fold out until it clicks. Then the leg is locked in and you just have to lower the table. The table can slide in this rail. To do this, simply lift the table again and push it forward or backwards. Remember, before driving off, you should remove the table and stow it safely. Also, turn the 2 seats again so that they face the direction of travel. Of course, you will notice there's enough storage space in your camper. For example, there is a storage compartment directly above the table. Directly below, you will find a light bar. Here is a cool feature. It is touch controlled and can even be dimmed. Additionally, there's a small inductive charging station down here, right next to the bench, as well as USB ports. Now, let's check out your fully equipped kitchenette. At FreewayCamper, we always provide you with a basic set of kitchen equipment, so you are well prepared for your camping trip. Starting here in front of the kitchenette, you'll find the refrigerator. You can pull it out like this, and it has a good amount of storage space. To operate the fridge, you'll use this on-off button on the left. Next to it is a snowflake. You can use this to regulate the temperature. You will now see 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 lights when you press this button. The cooling intensity of the fridge is indicated by how many of these lights are on, with more indicating a colder temperature. Also, you'll notice a moon symbol at the end. If you press it in the evening before you go to sleep, the refrigerator will go into sleep mode and run more quietly. Up here is the classic 2-burner gas stove. Press it and turn the control knob. Activate the igniter next to it by holding it for a short time and the flame will start. Important. When cooking, always have a window open to let in fresh air and wait at least 15 minutes after cooking before closing the lid, so that the burner can cool down properly and the lid isn't damaged. Directly to the right is a small sink. The faucet's height is adjustable, and it provides hot and cold water. Please make sure to shut it off properly after use so that the water doesn't keep running and it doesn't damage the water pump. Some storage space is located directly underneath, like a large cutlery drawer and a few other compartments. We also have another tray in the front and extensions on the left and on the right side as well. You use gas for cooking. The two gas bottles in the back of the vehicle are secured by dual control, which means that these two bottles are always open and active. Normally, you don't have to worry about these two gas bottles at all. If the burners are not receiving gas, you should make sure that this gas valve directly under the sink is open. Here is the so-called gas shut-off valve. Check to see if it's closed, meaning that gas isn't being sent to the burners. Let's move on to the bathroom in your camper. You have a fully equipped bathroom in your Grand California. Starting on the left is a normal sink. What's cool is you can fold down the sink itself to save space. You can use the faucet here to wash your hands, and you can also extend it to use it as a shower head. To do this, simply pull up on the hose and secure it to the holder located above the sink. Then you'll notice a small mirror cabinet which is magnetically secured and a motion-sensitive light. In the bottom right area is the toilet. Just behind it is a flush button, which is marked in blue. When using the toilet, you should keep a few things in mind. First of all, before using it for the first time, you should add some sanitary liquid that we provide you. A small shot of it is enough, because it is highly concentrated. Next, you flush some water. When you do this, the flap at the bottom should be open, of course, because otherwise the liquid will float in the top of your toilet. How do you open this flap? There is a small grey lever at the bottom of the toilet itself. You can push it to the side. This opens the flap to allow everything to flow into the toilet waste tank. It's very important that you open this every time you use the toilet, so that the waste itself can get into the tank. After use, close the flap again. It is important that you add a bit of the sanitary liquid every time you empty the toilet waste tank. To empty the toilet waste tank, there is a small lever indicator behind the toilet. Currently, this is green. When the tank starts to fill up, it will slowly turn red. This is the indication that you should empty the waste tank. Now we'll check out the sleeping areas in your camper. The first bed is here in the back. It is about 1.4 by 2 meters. By the way, it is a transverse bed. Directly below it is the rear storage, where you can keep your luggage. Of course, you also have more storage space above the bed, for your clothes and other items. Another bed is located in the front area above the driver's cabin. There is enough room for one adult and one child. This is how you set it up. Press the silver button and pull the bed in your direction. Next, an extension automatically comes out in the upper driver's side area. The bed slides out and locks into place. Furthermore, if an adult wants to sleep up here, you can lengthen the bed a bit by using this extension on the left side. You just fold it down like this. There is a rail on the wall where you press this small pin down to secure it. Once you've done this, the bed is set up. Of course, there is also a fallout protection for children, available upon request at the station. The bed is easy to access using the ladder, which is also located here at the top of the bed. You simply unfold it and hook it in. Note, the maximum load for the upper bed is 150 kilograms. Let's continue by reviewing the control panel of your camper. This is located on the right of your bathroom. It has a touch display. Once switched on, you will see various functions. Starting at the top left, you can see the light settings, and directly next to it, the camping mode. What happens when you turn on this camping mode? When you unlock the vehicle normally, a lot of lights turn on. If you activate this camping mode, then the lighting is simply limited to a minimum to avoid disturbing neighbours on the campsite when you come back at night. You can also set it so that the automatic step stays retracted or extended, depending on your preference. Next, we can see the temperature up here, and here we can control the parking heater just like the water heater. On the top left is the auxiliary heater icon. Here, you can set the interior temperature, so you're always comfortable. You switch the auxiliary heater on or off manually at the top here. Please don't forget to turn it off again if you don't need it anymore. Let's go back. Here we have an icon of a thermometer in water. That symbolizes the water heater. We have two different settings here, 40 and 60 degrees. It takes around half an hour for the water to fully warm up. After using the warm water, do not forget to turn this off again. At the bottom left, we can see the water level indicators. We have two water tanks installed. One is for fresh water and the other is for grey water. In this case, we now have 51% fresh water in the camper and 7% grey water. Remember, grey water should always be drained only at designated spots. Next, you'll notice the onboard battery icon. Here, you can easily read the charge level. If you run your parking heater, there are two things you should pay attention to. First, directly under the seat bench are several heating vents. These should be open and nothing should be in front of them, because this is where the warm air flows out. Furthermore, on the outside of the camper, directly under the living area window, there is a small vent. For safety reasons, the window above it should always be closed while you are operating the heater. If you open that window while the auxiliary heater is running, it will cause a system error and shut itself off. Now let's move on to your gas compartment. As mentioned earlier, the Grand California has a duo control system. This means that there are always two gas bottles open and ready, and you should never have access to your gas supply back here to open the gas cylinders. The duo control system has a crash sensor, which is automatically activated if you are in an accident or the vehicle has a strong vibration. In the event that that happens, a small yellow pin comes out and immediately cuts the gas connection. This dual control also automatically switches to the full bottle when the first one is empty. The fuse box is also located in this rear area. If you ever have problems with the electronics, just open it. You will see the different fuses and a red battery switch. If you have problems with the electronics, for instance, the step doesn't go in or out, just flip this red battery switch for about 30 seconds and then try it again and see if the problem is resolved. You can see several fuses here. One is very important, and that is the second one from the left. This is the 5 amp fuse for the water pump. Should you ever have a problem with the water pump in the camper, for example, it runs continuously, even if you don't have a tap open, please pull this 5 amp fuse to avoid further damage to the water pump. Another cool feature in this Grand California is the outdoor shower back here. There is a little door here. Behind that, you'll find the connection for the outside shower with a control for hot and cold water. Remember that if you want to have hot water back here, you first have to start the water heater on the control panel and wait about half an hour. There is a small switch here, marked on and off. The shower head is stored right behind it. Simply plug it in here and then switch it on, and you're ready to take an outdoor shower. Make sure to switch it off when you unplug the shower head again. FreewayCamper also provides you with basic camping equipment. This includes an electric cable drum as well as 2 drive-up wedges. We also provide a water hose to fill the water tank, plus electricity adapter cables and a broom and dustpan. On the right side is the camping table and 2 camping stools. If you want something even more comfortable, you can of course book camping chairs at the pickup station. Right here in the entrance area of your camper is a fly screen. This is divided into 2 parts. First, you pull out the part on the left side. Please use both hands. The best way is to hold it at the top and at the bottom. Next, do the same on the other side. Grab the top and bottom with 2 hands and pull out the fly screen. To push back the fly screen, follow the reverse procedure. Grab with 2 hands and retract. The same on the left side. Something really important to note. Please make sure when the fly screen is extended that you never close the sliding door, because this will damage the fly screen. Let's continue by looking at your camper's water tank. In the Grand California, it is located on the passenger side directly behind the sliding door. To fill it, first simply open the flap. Importantly, the sliding door should be closed first. Then take your keychain. This has the ignition key and also the key for the water tank. Open the tank with the key and set the cap to the side. In the next step, you grab the water hose, which as I mentioned is part of the basic equipment. You can insert it and fill the water tank. Please stay here while filling the water tank. It is really important that you never open the sliding door during filling. As you can see, the water tank is located directly in line with the sliding door. If you open the sliding door when filling the water tank, this hatch will break, so please pay attention to that. After filling, simply take the cap and close it properly, and don't forget to close the flap as well. One more important thing to note about the water tank. Besides the sliding door, which you will never open while you are filling the water tank, it is essential to only put fresh water in the water tank. Please do not fill it with diesel. Should you ever have problems with the water supply of your camper, for example, you notice that the water tank doesn't hold the water when you're filling it and it runs out directly below the vehicle, then you can check 2 things. First, there is a small service compartment in the back of the bed under the mattress. If you open it, you'll see some electronics and other compartments. Here, you want to look for a small black knob. This black knob is used to open and close the water tank. It is possible that this knob is open. This means that the water tank is fully open and water that you fill in runs directly out. You can close it by simply turning it. Then, see if filling the tank works. If the water still flows out of the bottom of the camper, there is a second possibility, the frost protection guard. I will show you what that is. The frost protection guard is located right underneath the bench seat. There is a small hatch that you can open, and then you will see the frost protection guard. There are 2 blue elements here, 1 button at the bottom and 1 knob at the top. If this blue button at the bottom is out, as shown now, then you know that the frost protection guard is activated and the water in the camper is not held in the tank. What's the function of this frost protection guard anyway? It ensures that no water freezes in the pipes or in the water tank. When the water inside the camper drops below 8 degrees Celsius, the water is automatically released by the frost protection guard. You can easily fix this by pressing the blue button back in and turning the knob at the top. Now the water should be kept in the camper. Next, I'll show you how to connect the Grand California to the external power supply. For this, I took the electric cable drum from the back of the vehicle, as well as the 2 adapter cables. I need 1 adapter cable to connect directly to the vehicle, and that's this one with the snap closure. In the back is the power supply. Simply open this cover and open the hatch of the adapter plug. Press the plug in firmly and your adapter cable is connected. Now you can either extend it with another adapter cable or use the electric cable drum. What is the external power connection for? You have 230-volt sockets inside. However, these only work if you are connected to the external power. But you can also use most of our Grand Californias for a few days without being connected to external power, because there is a small solar panel above the cockpit. Now we come to the water waste tank. It is located directly behind this compartment. It only opens when the vehicle is unlocked. As soon as the vehicle is locked, it closes automatically. To remove and empty the toilet waste tank, proceed as follows. First, make sure the grey lever or the lock outside the toilet bowl is closed. Otherwise, you won't be able to remove the waste tank. Next, there is a blue lever that you push up. Then pull out the waste tank. Now you have 3 different blue elements here. I'll start with the outlet of the waste tank. Just turn the pipe out, open the cap, and now you can empty the contents of the waste tank. In the next step, you rinse the tank with water, shake it so that it really gets into every corner, and empty the contents again. Repeat this process 2 to 3 times, so that eventually everything is really cleaned out of the tank and you return it clean at the end of your trip. To check, you can push back this switch. Use this blue switch carefully, because sometimes there is still a bit of residual water at the top of the container that could splash you in the face. It's best not to look directly into it. Turn this back, check the waste tank to see if everything is clean. If so, you can close it, push it back here again, and reinsert the tank. As I said, it is very important to us that the toilet waste tank comes back really clean and that there is no residue. To insert it back, proceed as follows. Simply push it in. If it is stuck, it's most likely because the grey lever on the outside of the toilet bowl is open. If that's the case, you first have to go into the bathroom and close the grey lever again. Please do not try to force the waste tank back in. As a reminder, directly to the left of the waste tank is the vent for the auxiliary heater. If you are using the heater, please never hang anything in front of the vent, so that it is always unobstructed. The grey water tank of your camper is located directly under the toilet waste tank. There is a small lever here to empty it. As soon as you turn it, it runs out directly under here. It's important that the grey water should only be emptied in designated areas. For example, at the campsite. The toilet waste tank has a different designated disposal spot than grey water. Upon return, we expect that not only the toilet waste tank, but also the grey water tank has been emptied. To release the grey water, simply open this valve by turning your hand down on this lever here and the water will run out. And last but not least, right next to the driver's side door, you'll find the diesel and AdBlue tanks. To fill them up, just open the driver's door and open the hatch here. The diesel tank is on top and the AdBlue below. We apply the full to full rule. That means we give you a full diesel tank and a full AdBlue tank. In return, you return both full. Please make sure that you only fill it up with diesel and nothing else. The diesel tank is on this side, right next to the driver's door and not on the other side, where the water tank is located. You can find AdBlue at every gas station. Usually you find it right next to the fuel pumps, but if you don't, it will be inside the gas station in a small bottle. Let's start with the setup of the awning. Firstly, before you crank out the awning, please make sure that the sliding door and passenger door are always closed. This also applies to the dismantling of the awning. To do this, go to the rear storage area where the awning rod is located above the bed. Next, insert the awning pole and extend it to about 1 meter. Please always make sure that the awning pole is really hanging tight inside, because it can easily slip out and damage the paint. Now, you fold out the 2 legs of the awning. To do this, you need to take hold of the fixture on the extreme right and the extreme left and unfold each leg. Once you have a leg in your hand, pull out the extension of the support leg and lock it properly. Locking the legs is very important so that the awning is standing properly and doesn't crash down when you continue to extend it. Then you take the legs and pull them forward step by step. You put them forward at an angle, extend a bit until the legs are straight again. Pull the legs forward again and extend the awning until the legs are straight again. Let's get back to a few important points to consider when you extend the awning. First of all, the awning is a sunshade. That means it should always be retracted in case of rain and storms. Next, please make sure that the awning is never extended when you leave the car or overnight. Furthermore, if you want to retract the awning, please make sure that the awning is never retracted when it's wet. Please let it dry first. And finally, here we are in the cockpit. I will also show you a few important things. In the driver's and passenger's doors, you will find additional equipment. We have a combi bag consisting of a warning triangle, first aid kit, and additional safety vests. We also provide a vehicle folder in the door, which contains important papers such as the vehicle registration document or an accident report in duplicate. Should you ever have an accident or damage something, this is very important. Please always fill out the accident report and call the police if necessary. The accident report should be handed in at the station, and customer service should be informed immediately. Then we have a fire extinguisher, as well as some spare oil. Of course, your Grand California is equipped with the latest assistance systems, such as adaptive cruise control and lane assistant. Here in the front, we also have a malfunctioned steering wheel and the multimedia system, which has, for example, a rear-view camera when the campervan is in reverse. Here in the front, you'll always find automatic transmission and, of course, air conditioning. And last but not least, here on the top left of the windshield, you see an important sticker with the vehicle dimensions. Please pay attention to it. When you return the vehicle for cleaning, it is important that you never go through an automatic car wash, but instead always scrub the vehicle yourself. And one last important note. Before you drive off, you should release the handbrake. The handbrake in your Grand California is a bit special. It works like this. When you pull the handbrake lever, the lever will fall down. Don't be surprised here. The handbrake is not broken, it is still locked. To release it, proceed as follows. Take the loose handbrake lever in your hand again, pull it up to the top. Now push the button in front and pull it up a bit more. Then let the lever down. Now the handbrake is released and you can drive off. Now, nothing stands in the way of your camping trip. So get out there and have fun.